Well, look, while some MPs, government officials and Conservative MPs seem to get rattled around rather too easily for my liking by sort of what the mainstream media's hysteria is all about today and what Twitter is whinging about and frankly following and being bullied around by that sort of hysteria all the time, that isn't really leadership. You have got someone within the government who I think is coming out swinging and taking an approach I rather like, and that is Jacob Rees-Mogg, who I know a number of you are big fans of. But rather than just being sort of blown around, Mogg has actually hit back. He's hit back on a number of channels a number of times now. He's hit back at, for instance, at the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, on ITV's Peston. He hit back at the BBC on BBC Radio and at the OBR, the Office for Budget Responsibility, on GB News. So I think this combative approach by Mogg actually is the right one. I'm going to play you the clips now of what Mogg has been out and about saying. Let me know if you like this approach, guys. If you'd like to see more in the government, take this approach when it comes to dealing with the media and dealing with these various organisations.
I think the IMF is wrong on both counts. I think it's particularly wrong on energy. And frankly doesn't know what it's talking about, because the price signal via the increases that are already happening, have already come in with the £2,500 average usage cap, are very strong to discourage wasteful usage of energy. So that doesn't make any sense. If you think the cap was £1,100, it's gone to £2,500 before the ameliorations, with the ameliorations, but before the £400 that people get and so on. That's a really strong price signal to people. So the IMF is not Holy Writ, and the IMF likes having a pop at the UK for its own particular reasons. I'm afraid I would never lose too much sleep about the IMF.
I'm trying to get your view on what many people regard as a very serious economic and investor confidence picture that has been sparked by the mini budget. And something you could do would be to bring forward the economic and fiscal plan that's scheduled for October the 31st. Is that possible?
No, hold on. You suggest something is causal, which is a speculation. What has caused the effect in pension funds because of some quite high risk but low probability investment strategies is not necessarily the mini budget. It could just as easily be the fact that the day before the Bank of England did not raise interest rates as much as the Federal Reserve did. And I think jumping to conclusions about causality is not meeting the BBC's requirement for impartiality. It is a commentary rather than a factual question. The ABR is run by good people. I thought Robert Choate, when he ran it, was a particularly capable economist. But even Robert, when he was running it, didn't get the forecasts right. So the idea that the ABR will actually make a forecast that turns out to be what happens isn't actually the case.